All right, let's just dive right in. Welcome to today's explainer. Have you ever felt that incredible rush of setting a massive new goal, only to watch all that motivation completely evaporate like a week later? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're unpacking a really counterintuitive strategy. It's used by some of the most disciplined, highly successful people on the planet. It's called the quiet rule, and it basically suggests that the very act of sharing your goals might actually be the exact thing destroying them.
So, why do so many people start big but finish absolutely nothing? Think about it. Our immediate instinct when we get a brilliant new idea or set a goal is to just open our mouths, right? We tell our friends at a cafe, we announce it to our family, we blast it all over social media. We literally declare to the universe that we're going to change our lives, get fit, or build this amazing business. But what we don't realize is that by exposing that beautiful, fragile new dream to everyone, we are letting all the energy out. Our focus weakens, and our energy just completely scatters.
Section 1. Leo's Story. The Trap of Premature Praise.
Let's look at a cautionary tale to see how this works. Meet Leo. He's a 26-year-old grocery store worker, completely tired of being ordinary and broke. On Sunday night, this sudden, intense fire wakes up inside him. He decides he's going to start an online clothing brand. He's going to wake up at 5 a.m. every day and become this successful businessman. He feels a massive wave of energy. But by Monday lunch, he just kind of can't hold it in. He tells his coworkers, Kevin and Marcus, all about his big plans. And what do? They smile, they praise him, they call him a boss. Fast forward to Monday night when he sits down to actually design the clothes, his motivation drops to absolute zero. He decides to watch a movie instead. He never even starts. And this brilliantly illustrates how a simple 15-minute conversation destroyed his future before it literally even began.
Section 2. The Biological Trap. How your brain gets tricked.
Now, you might be thinking Leo was just lazy, right? But actually, he was the victim of a biological blind spot. Our ancient human brains genuinely can't always tell the difference between talking about a goal and actually achieving it. And it all comes down to dopamine. When Leo's friends praised his plans, his brain received this massive dose of this reward chemical. The brain felt the pleasure of success right there in that exact moment. It literally thought, our friends are praising us, we must have already achieved the goal. You get the psychological reward and you take on the identity of a hardworking person without lifting a single finger. And once your brain receives this cheap, fake satisfaction, that hunger just totally disappears.
Think of the initial excitement of a new goal like gasoline. The loud talker pours that gasoline on the ground and just lights a match. Sure, it creates a beautiful short flash of attention and praise, but it leaves behind absolutely nothing but ash. But the silent worker, they don't waste their gasoline. They put it right into the engine. They use that raw physical energy to study, to lift weights, or to write code. They grow millimeter by millimeter in the shadows, never once asking for validation.
Section 3. Hidden Jealousy. The Danger of the Sharp Mirror.
When you decide to level up your life and leave your comfortable, ordinary routine, you probably assume everyone around you will clap and be super happy for you, right? Well, the sad psychological truth is that your ambition acts as a sharp, clear mirror. It reminds others of their own abandoned dreams and the comfortable, maybe lazy lives they're currently living. Let's walk through how this subtle psychological weapon works. Step 1. You share a big ambition. Step 2. Your friends feel this secret, cold discomfort. Step 3. They don't usually attack you directly. Instead, they plant tiny seeds of doubt, perfectly disguised as jokes. Like, imagine you're learning a new language. You speak with a heavy accent, and they laugh and mockingly call you the big international manager. It seems small, but step 4 is inevitable. That fragile belief inside you weakens. Your focus scatters, and eventually you just sit right back down in the ordinary valley with them.
And you know, this is exactly why you absolutely must protect your dream like a seed under the ground. In the very beginning, a seed has to stay in the dark dirt. It needs to grow its roots deep down where nobody can see them. If you expose that young, fragile seed to the harsh winter wind of other people's jealousy too early, it simply dies.
Section 4. The Noise of the Crowd. Protecting your inner sanctuary.
Beyond jealousy, there is just the sheer noise of the crowd. When you open your mouth, you are turning your clean inner sanctuary into a totally chaotic marketplace. You tell 10 people, you're going to get 10 different opinions, all based on their own personal limitations and fears. Your uncle says invest in land, your friend says buy crypto, your colleague says save cash in a bank, your neighbor says you are too young, and someone else chimes in saying you are too old. So, when you finally sit down to work, you hear these 10 different voices arguing inside your head. You stop hearing your own voice and you completely lose your intuition. It's a mess. I want you to consider this really powerful idea. Do not live like a leaf. Live like a rock in the deep ocean, silent, heavy, and unbothered by the waves on the surface. Most people are out there living from social pressure, just blowing around like dry leaves in the wind whenever someone gives an opinion. But if you can think clearly in a quiet room, completely uncontaminated by outside noise, you are instantly 5 steps ahead of 90% of the population for sure.
Section 5. Let success speak. The freedom of silent execution. All right, so this all builds to the ultimate solution, the ancient strategy of concealing your intentions. It's all about fiercely protecting your development phase so that you can actually achieve the things you're setting out to do. Let's think of it like a professional architect. On one side, we have empty intentions. This is the person standing in an empty, muddy field every single morning, literally shouting to the neighbors about how beautiful their house is going to look next year. But here's the thing. Life only respects execution. On the other side, the silent executor just brings the bricks and cement quietly. They build the walls layer by layer, totally in silence. Then, one day the scaffolding drops, and the sudden reveal of their hard work makes them completely impossible to stop.
And this brings us to focus, which is without a doubt your most precious resource. Sunlight spread across a city is warm and gentle, right? But if you take a magnifying glass and concentrate those scattered rays, it becomes a powerful laser beam that burns right through a leaf. When you share your plans, it's like you're letting people walk right into your mental apartment with dirty shoes. They track their doubts and opinions all over your clean space, leaking your energy. Silence, on the other hand, turns your effort into an unstoppable, focused momentum.
The crucial difference becomes so incredibly obvious when we compare these two mindsets side by side. The talker? They brag daily at the coffee machine, desperately trying to prove their worth with cheap words. Their work stays totally average, and after 3 years, they just complain that life is unfair. Now, consider the silent doer. They literally say nothing. They just arrive 20 minutes early, leave 30 minutes late, and quietly solve problems privately without any of the drama. The result? They get promoted to director. The big takeaway here is that true respect from the world is never earned through initial excitement. It is only earned through the undeniable evidence of long hours of lonely work. So I want you to ask yourself honestly, right now, what am I protecting more? My focus and my future, or other people's temporary opinions of me? Take a second to think carefully about that, because the answer you give to this incredibly raw question will literally dictate exactly where your life will be in 5 years.
We've seen exactly how the brain tricks you, how hidden jealousy undermines you, and how the crowd's noise totally confuses you. The choice is now yours. You can walk away from this explainer and immediately go tell everyone you're starting a new silent strategy, wasting that precious energy all over again. Or you can sign a secret contract with your future self right now, today. State to yourself, I choose the silence. Lock that fire deep in your chest and let your undeniable results do all the shouting for you. So, will you waste your energy talking, or will you build your empire in the dark? Thanks so much for joining this explainer, and keep learning.